Hey everyone, I'm Celeste. Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at mid-back pain, sort of the junction between your thoracic spine and your lumbar spine. There's a few little drills that you can try out to see if it can help you. One of the features of this section of your spine, the thoracic spine, is that there are so many joints there. It's called a joint-rich area. So what we're going to do is mobilize all of those joints, and we're going to look a little bit funny doing it. You're going to stick your chest out, and you're really going to focus on those tiny joints of your upper back squeezing together, and then you're going to round your back slightly, imagining those joints are separating or stretching. And you're going to travel between those 2 points. This is called anterior when you go forward and posterior when you go back. And each time you do it, you're going to think of going a millimeter further. And if it feels a little bit shaky, that's quite good. That means your brain wants more of it. And while you do it, see if you can smooth out your breathing. Awesome. We're now going to stretch our arms out to the side. Imagine your hand is still pressing here on the side of your ribs. Press into that imaginary hand and then do the same on the other side. Now again, it's really easy to do this, just be kind of a floppy movement. The visualization of the hand is just to add a bit of resistance. And I want you then to shift your mind into the little joints again, the ones that we just mobilized forwards and backwards, and see if you can feel them drifting side to side. So it's a bit more concentration than just kind of going through the motions. Very cool, last one. Now what we're going to do is make a square with our thoracic spine. So you're going to take your chest forward, to the side, to the back, and to the side. Now there's a lot of coordination for lots of people. Even if you don't do it perfectly, guys, it really doesn't matter. The fact that you're trying to move it is already doing a lot. Let's go the other way now. So chest is going to go forwards. Focus on those little joints. Still keep your mind on those tiny connections as you go sideways with the ribs, the other way. And then feel them stretching as you go back, a little bit of opening around the ribs. And then finish the square going to the opposite side. Good, now let's go the first way again. So forward, side, back, side, and then we reverse it. Forward, side, back, side. Awesome. Okay, shake it out. Take a big breath in and slowly breathe out. And we're gonna just do a step and a twist. So it's very floppy and very relaxed. And while you're doing this, your arms are obviously just sort of collapsing by your side each time you twist, but I want you to put your mind again into your thoracic spine, and I want you to give me just a little extra at the end of the movement. So it's like a little push, just to go a tiny bit further, and your focus is really getting the twist to happen from the thoracic spine. And then while you do it, maybe do a couple of really big, deep breaths as well. Okay, awesome. Bring it back. Next, we're going to shift our focus into our lumbar spine. So we've gone from the thoracic spine, upper back zone. Now we're in the lower back zone. And because it's a very short section, there's not going to be a huge amount of movement here. So whatever we do, try and focus on it not coming from the hips or the thoracic spine, but really try and focus on just this little section doing the movement. It's one of the best exercises, by the way. This feels so dreamy. You're going to be really floppy with your arms, and you're just going to go to the side. So you feel a side body stretch at first. And you know what I like to do, guys? I like to even just massage it. Now the top arm is going to become a weight. It's just going to collapse down, and you're going to feel the stretch that was on the side now shifting closer to the spine. You're going to stay in the lower back. You're not going to let the hips take any of the flexion, and you're going to rotate round to the front, and then you're going to lift up. Let's do the same on the other side. So nice and heavy, clunk, feel your side body, massage it out. Top arm becomes a weight, big breath in, let the weight flop. Good, and then let your head be heavy. And then we're gonna rotate it back to the front. Good, we're gonna do that twice more. Inhale and exhale. Good, massage. Take a little breath in, big exhale. Round to the front And back up to the middle. And our last one, inhale. Nice. And guys, for me personally, this feels so good. It looks so like it's nothing, but it feels amazing. So if you feel that maybe just the 2 rounds that I've done both sides aren't enough, then feel free to pause me and do a few more of those. Because next what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift into the pelvis. So we've done a bit on the thoracic spine, a bit on the lumbar spine. We're going to finish off now working in our pelvic area. There is actually a little joint here called your sacroiliac joint. And before, what we did is we moved the lumbar spine. Now it's going to be tricky. I'm actually going to ask you to keep the lumbar spine quite still. I want you to imagine a big rod piercing from the greater trochanter, that's this big bone over here, through your tailbone and through the other side. And what we're going to do is we're going to pivot around that bar. Now I'm doing this with my hands just to illustrate the bar. You can just relax your arms either by your side or actually use your hands as tactile sensory, or use your hands to give you a bit of sensory feedback. And I want you to really use your muscles, okay? It's a small movement, so it's tempting to make them floppy, but I want you to really turn them on as you shift between what we call a posterior tilt and an anterior tilt. And you're actually visualizing the movement only coming from the SI joint. And then if you can smooth out your breathing and really relax into it, making sure that your breath hasn't got any tension. Your diaphragm is still working through its full range. Okay guys, so the last exercise that I'm going to teach you is actually a bit of a funny one, because a lot of times when people have mid-thoracic pain, it's actually because their diaphragm is a bit stuck. Now there's different things we can do actually with our hands. Some people teach you to palpate your diaphragm, but you can only really palpate it from the front. You know, by getting your fingers sort of hooking under the ribs, it doesn't feel terribly nice, but then sort of swooping all the way around and sort of feeling it by curling your fingers underneath. And if you did find that there was any kind of little niggly spot, maybe you could give it a bit more attention. However, it's very difficult to get the back, and that is why the diaphragmatic stretch I'm about to teach you is unbelievable. So I'm gonna lie on my back, and I'm gonna tuck my tailbone, and I'm gonna really breathe into my nose as big as possible. So you can breathe in with me. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe into your belly, breathe into your ribs, make everything massive. Imagine a mirror in front of you, mouth open, steam up the mirror. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Even if it sounds funny, keep going until you do a little cough. Diaphragmatic stretch number 1. Guys, take it easy at first. You want to do about 30% of effort and you want to build it up gradually. If you do get any kind of cramps or anything, it means you've done too much. Stop immediately. If you are loving this and you want to make it a bit harder, you're going to tuck your tailbone, lift your pelvis up, take the arms overhead, big breath again into your nose. Open your mouth to breathe out. Okay, so those are diaphragmatic stretches. Guys, we only did 2, but let me tell you, if you do these more, I promise, my loves, you're gonna get so much value from it. Try and do it 3 or 4 times and then have a little retest of your pain and see where you're at after this little class. Thank you so much for doing it with me. I know it was a quick one, but I hope you got some value from it. Please do leave me a comment down below letting me know if any of these little tips have helped. And also massive shout out to Z Health Performance. That's where I've learned all this amazing stuff that not only works your body, but actually also really helps your brain. Anyway guys, I'll see you on the next video.